Okay, so over here we've got the vinyl records, The Universe, Terry Pratchett, Ayn Rand. A lot of these on this shelf are school reads that I had, including Ayn Rand, Robinson Crusoe, Cortez Foe, John Keats selected poems, The Prince, Machiavelli, Beloved, Toni Morrison, Survival in Auschwitz by Primo Levi, which is very sad. I really like that one. The Basic Works of Aristotle, St. Augustine's Confessions, Second Treatise of the Government, Brave New World, Oedipus Plays of Sophocles, The Stranger, I Climbed a Rainbow Once. That's actually a picture of it. Ooh, I'm getting off screen. So I Climbed a Rainbow Once, Julia of the Wolves, say it right in Japanese. I did take several Japanese classes. Japanese phrases, Jane Austen, Fanny Flagg. And we have my father's lovely Stephen King collection, not including the hardcovers and the other trade paper. This is our Monty Python mug. You're no fun anymore. Run away! Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Know what I mean? So already you can tell that I'm sort of running out of room for books here. I've got The Way of Kings, which was excellent. I got the hardcover of that. Way of Shadows, Blood and Chocolate, Prince of Thorns, Stormfront, Lies of Locke Lamora, The Wee Free Men, and A Hatful of Sky. And then we've got the dictionary, 100 Years of Solitude, Lonesome Dove, God of Small Things, Billy Collins, Sailing Around the Room, Travesties by Tom Stoppard, Ernest Hemingway, Old Man in the Sea, Steinbeck's Wayward Bus, and The Moon is Down, Maggie and the Girl of the Streets, Take What You Want, John Steinbeck's Carnegie Row, more Stephen King here. We've got Big George, The Iliad, Julius Caesar's The Gaelic Wars, Stardust, another copy. This is a library edition. A Child Called It, The Republic, For Writers Only, My Side of the Mountain, On the Far Side of the Mountain, Frightful's Mountain, Jane Eyre, which I have so many copies of, it's not even funny. Quotation books, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, Pride and Prejudice, 1984, Shakespeare, Hamlet, Julius Caesar, Romeo and Juliet, The Merchant of Venice, and The Importance of Being Earnest, A Room of One's Own, The Bell Jar, Dracula, Frankenstein, Fahrenheit 451, The Kite Runner, Jane Austen Journal, The Outsiders, Canterbury Tales, Utopia, The Whipping Boy. You notice for a lot of those I didn't tell you the authors. It's because I kind of assume, as for the classics, that you kind of know. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them in the comments. You've got Isaac Asimov's Nightfalls and Other Stories, Shipbreakers by Palio Balgapia, Robert Heinlein, Citizens of the Galaxy, and The Wind-Up Girl, also by Palio. Okay, so starting off with the very top shelf here, I've got my classics and my leather bounds. Some of the paperbacks on this far side are not either of those things, but let's get started with it. We've got Jane Eyre here, Edgar Allan Poe, The Divine Comedy, Treasury of Classic Poetry, Jane Austen, Complete of Sherlock Holmes, Complete of Shakespeare, and then over here we've got more Sherlock Holmes, their individual editions. Kurt Vonnegut's up there. He's not a fancy version, but he is classic, so Slaughterhouse-Five. Here's another version of Jane Eyre. This is actually one of the prettiest covers I own. And then we have Sherlock Holmes. It's an illustrated edition that I got. Super cool. Custom-made Good Omens that I got off of Etsy. I'll find the Etsy shop and add it to the link below. Just to get you an idea of what it looks like. That's the front side and back. It's beautiful. We've got King Arthur, Adventures of Alice in Wonderland, Pride and Prejudice, The Once and Future King, and then a collection of Douglas Adams books. The other books over here are Wizard's First Rule, The Once and Future King, Oliver Twist, The Invisible Time Machine, and then these two are Pulp the Classic versions. There's Pride and Prejudice and a Pulp the Fiction version of Frankenstein. And then everything below this is actually my TBR, so I'm going to save that for a separate video because there's a lot of them and I'm probably running out of time. So let me move it on over. Up at the very top here, we've got all our Tolkien. We've got leather-bound editions, paperback, 2 versions of paperbacks, original covers and movie covers. We've got another leather-bound of The Hobbit. We've got The Children of Huron. We've got Unfinished Tales, Bilbo's Last Song, The Silmarillion, and then the hardcover editions. And then we've got a corncob pipe, finish it all off. So these are some of my more favorite books that I keep up here. Not all of them, of course, but it's my favorite shelf by far. We've got Patrick Rothfuss, his first and second book, and A Fangirl's Guide to the Galaxy. We've got all of the Harry Potters in paperback. We've got the illustrated edition. We've got Way of Kings, and then The Word of Radiance doesn't have its dust jacket on right now because I'm currently in the middle of it. It's so good. Then we have Armada, the Theft of Swords series. He is one of my absolute favorite authors, and you'll definitely be hearing me talk about Michael Sullivan a lot on my channel. So we've got Name of the Wind. It is a signed edition. There you go. Nice and pretty and signed. And The Slow Regard of Silent Things, The Black Prism and the Blinding Knife, The Thief, The Martian, Wolf by Wolf, Front Lines, The Novice, Zodiac, Carry On, Fangirl, Eleanor and Park, The Fifth Wave, The Book Thief, Rook, A Thousand Pieces of You, First and Then, Miss Peregrine School for Peculiar Children, Red Rising, and Ready Player One. Dark Days Club is another one I'm currently reading. It's off the shelf. Uprooted I lent to a friend. Loki's Wolves, The Looking Glass Wars, Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe, Mary Lou's Legend, The Scorpio Races, I Am the Messenger, Will Grayson, Paper Towns. These are all by John Green here. The Abundance of Catherine, Looking for Alaska, The Faulkner Stars, This Star Won't Go Out. And I also have a Monster Calls, Define Normal, Graceling, Cinder, The Darkest Minds, and Fallen Kingdoms. You'll notice that these are all partials in series. These are the books in the series that I have actually completed. The Alchemist series by Scott, Air series by Chima. I really love Chima's books. You'll hear me say it again and again. The Demon King series is another one by Chima I absolutely adore. And then Flamecaster, I've got both the hardcover and the ARC. All of which these are signed. We have Welcome to Night Vale, The Hunger Games. We've got Riordan's series here, Percy Jackson series, and then we've got Heroes of Olympus, incomplete, and we've got the King Chronicles, incomplete. We have Eon and Iona, the Divergent series, and the Selection series, incomplete. The Night Circus. Sorry, I had to tilt that to get that angle in there. There's another bookcase here. And very last, these are the books that I either did not finish or did not care for. Game of Thrones series, I did read the first 2. Star Trek actually doesn't belong there. I do love this book. Shadow of the Wind, Is Everyone Hanging Out Without Me? Throne of Glass, I wasn't crazy about. Shadow and Bone, another series. It didn't speak to me. I know a lot of people like it, but it wasn't my thing. And then there's Artemis Fowl, another one that I think maybe I would have liked it when I was younger, but I read it. It wasn't working for me. The Maze Runner, not one that I could get into either. Adulting, which was kind of interesting, but not something I really loved or needed in my life. And then there's the Game of Thrones audio. Here are our Piece de Resistance. These are our oldest volumes. This one, it doesn't say, but it's Cinderella. It's very tiny. Very old. And then we have this one right here, which you can't really see it. It's Honeysuckle Cottage. Here we have The Merchant of Venice, very nice, very old copy. And here is the Iliad and Homer. The Seder Box, Edgar a Guest, Heap of, I forgot, I'm sorry, A Heap o' Living, The Light of Faith, same author. And then this I can't pick up, it's just so old. It's a Bible. It's the oldest thing we have in our house. Not really supposed to move it. And then we've got an old copy of My Side of the Mountain, which I believe is signed. Yeah, it's dedicated to my dad. It's signed by the author. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I would very appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. I am just starting off, but I hope you did like it, and I'll see you again later. Bye!